All right, let's talk about GoPro, because their latest investor call, it was a real head-scratcher. On one hand, you've got some pretty concerning numbers, but on the other, they're making these incredibly bold promises for the future. So what is actually going on here? We're going to unpack that call and figure out what their surprising new game plan is all about.
Seriously, the whole thing felt like a puzzle, you know? It's like the company was sending out all these signals that just didn't line up. They seemed to completely contradict each other. It's almost like they were saying, hey, we're struggling over here and get ready because we're about to dominate, all in the same breath. Super confusing.
Okay, so look at this. On one side, you have the bad news, right? They missed their earnings target and they're predicting lower sales for the holidays, which, that's supposed to be their biggest season. But then, on the flip side, they just dropped 3 brand new products. And they're talking about this huge comeback, this major growth in 2026. It just doesn't seem to add up, does it? So, that's the big question we're trying to answer here. What is really going on inside GoPro? Are we looking at a company that's in serious trouble? Or is this the start of some kind of brilliant, calculated comeback? Let's dive in and find out.
All right, first things first. To understand where they're going, we've got to understand where they are right now. So let's take a look at their Q3 performance.
Okay, so here are the big headline numbers for Q3. Their earnings per share, that's EPS, it came in at -9 cents. That's a miss. Analysts were expecting better. But their revenue, that was $163 million, which was actually right on the money, exactly what was expected. So yeah, definitely a mixed bag. But if you dig a little deeper, things start to look a bit healthier. For one, they had a positive cash flow of $12 million. And get this, that's the second quarter in a row they've done that. They also managed to cut down on the amount of unsold cameras just sitting on store shelves by 30%. So even though the profit numbers weren't amazing, it kind of feels like they're running a much tighter ship, you know? They've got their house in order, operationally speaking. Okay, so those are the numbers. But how does this all tie into their grand new strategy? Well, let's get into the core of their big bet, which is all about moving past what they call the Swiss Army knife approach. And you don't have to take my word for it, this comes straight from the CEO, Nicholas Woodman. He basically said, look, for years, the Hero camera was kind of like a Swiss Army knife, one tool that tried to do it all for everybody. But he thinks customers have changed. They don't want that one do-it-all gadget anymore. What they want now is a whole toolbox with specialized tools for specific jobs. And this right here, this is that strategic pivot in a nutshell. The old GoPro, it was all about that one Swiss Army knife Hero camera. The new GoPro, though, is building a full-on toolbox. They're making specialized cameras for specific people doing specific things. And this is key. It's not just about selling more cameras, it's about making their whole world bigger, expanding what's called their Total Addressable Market, or TAM. Basically, they're trying to grow the entire pie, not just get a bigger slice. So what's actually in this new toolbox? Well, just in the last quarter, GoPro launched a whole trio of new products, and they perfectly show what this new strategy is all about. First up, we've got the Max 2. This is their new 360-degree camera, and it's a big deal. It's targeting a market that's estimated at 2 million units a year. Plus, it has features people have been asking for, like durable, replaceable lenses. Anyone who's used a 360 cam knows what a huge pain point that can be. And get this, their 360 tech just won an Emmy Award. So yeah, it's safe to say they are taking this category very seriously. Next in the toolbox is the Lit Hero, and honestly, this could not be more different from your classic GoPro. It's super compact, it's got this fun, kind of retro-inspired look, and it even has a light built right in. This camera isn't for jumping off cliffs, it's for a younger crowd, for those whatever, whenever moments. It's a really bold play to go after a completely new audience. And last but not least, there's the Fluid Pro AI. Now this one's interesting because it's not even a camera. It's an advanced gimbal for getting those buttery, smooth, professional-looking shots. It uses AI for subject tracking, which is cool. But the real kicker is that it works with GoPros, sure, but also with smartphones and other cameras. This is huge. They're breaking out of their own ecosystem and stepping into the massive global market for gimbals. Okay, so to recap, new strategy, 3 new products. Everything seems to be pointing up, right? Which brings us right back to that confusing puzzle from the beginning. Why on earth are they predicting a slow holiday season? And this is the exact question that had analysts scratching their heads. It just doesn't make sense on the surface.
The whole point of launching new gear right before the holidays is because you expect to sell a ton of it. So what's the logic here? Why are they being so pessimistic?
And let me be clear, we are not talking about a little dip. They're forecasting that their unit sales, the actual number of cameras sold to people, will be down by a whopping 18% compared to last year. They're essentially telling Wall Street, don't expect much from us this Christmas.
So what's the deal? Well, the answer is pretty surprising. This isn't a sign of failure. It's a strategic sacrifice. They are intentionally taking a hit in the short term, all for what they believe is going to be a massive long-term payoff.
Okay, here's the logic. It's actually pretty simple. They made a deliberate choice not to release a big new flagship hero camera this year. See, instead of doing just another small incremental update, they're taking all that R&D money and pouring it into a major technological leap. And it's all centered around a brand new processor called GP3. So they're sacrificing this holiday season to make 2026 an absolute monster of a year. And they are not being shy about this at all. During the investor call, they flat out said that 2026 is going to be the year of GP3. This new chip is going to be the engine for a whole new generation of GoPro products, and they're planning to just keep launching them all year long. So yeah, get ready for a nonstop parade of new gear from them in 2026. Now, this is a bold strategy. I mean, it's pretty risky, right? So you have to wonder, just how confident is GoPro that this is all going to work out? Well, let's just say the CEO is literally putting his money where his mouth is. First, let's look at the company's official target. They are promising to deliver at least $40 million in what's called adjusted EBITDA in 2026. All you need to know is that's a key measure of financial performance, and it would be a huge turnaround from the losses they've been posting lately. And here it is, the ultimate proof of confidence. To back up that $40 million promise, CEO Nicholas Woodman is personally putting $2 million of his own money into the company. Think about that. He's not just saying he believes in the 2026 plan, he is betting his own personal fortune on it.
So there you have it. That's the real story behind those confusing numbers. GoPro is playing the long game here. They're sacrificing short-term sales now for what they hope will be a massive technological leap in 2026. The big takeaway? Yeah, expect a quiet holiday season from GoPro this year. But get ready for a wave of new, innovative products powered by that new GP3 chip to start rolling out in 2026. The question that leaves us with is, will this huge bet actually pay off? Could this be what redefines GoPro for the next decade? We'll have to wait and see.